Super Bowl Sunday this week. Go Saints. I only say that because the Colts are Jets killers and Peyton Manning's kind of a jerk off. So, go Saints. In a few hours, we're going to see how this unfolds. Anyway, new format now. Every Sunday, we're going to do weekly wrap up. Basically, few 4 to 6 or so snippets of what's happening in gadgets and tech this week. And anything major that comes out or specific episodes, we will address individually as they come up. All right, here we go. First Sunday wrap up. I'll see you in a minute.
I live on the edge and don't know what my name is, but I know I'll be playing whatever the game is. And once that you burner, it really no shame is, and all that we do therefore just for the famous. I like to set up things, I like to be winning, and I love to betray you, and I love to be sinning, but I'm instantly cheating as soon as you leave me, but I can't be resisted as long as I'm singing.
Weekly wrap up in tech, February 7th, Sunday. Here's what's on tap. Mike Arrington and the firing of the 17-year-old journalist from TechCrunch. The Adobe Apple war. Flash is not found on the iPhone or the iPad. Here's why. Here's what's going to happen. A new picture of the iPad is released, showing roughly 300 cameras on it. Nobody barks this time. We'll find out why. iPhone OS 3.1.3 just came out this week. What does that mean for jailbreakers? And finally, the new Facebook layout has come out. Facebook wins an award for the most redesigned homepages in the history of the web. Not really. We'll talk about it. This week, 17-year-old journalist and reporter for TechCrunch, Daniel Brusilovsky, gets fired for receiving a MacBook Air in exchange for some good press. TechCrunch found out. He gets fired. He apologizes. He's a kid. Mike Arrington, he's the adult in this situation. He acts like a kid. The end result here is that this kid's gone from the tech industry. Arrington will never go away. We're stuck with him, and that's the consequences that we have to suffer. Half the web blames the kid. He should know better. Half the web blames Mike Arrington. Everybody blames Mike Arrington. It's really his fault. He's been a jerk off to this kid. The kid didn't know any better. Realistically, though, he's 17 years old. He should have known better. Everybody's at fault. Listen to me. We'll move on. As if Microsoft and Google were not enough, Apple adds Adobe to their people on their shit list. As we know, Flash has never been seen on the iPhone or the iPod Touch. It was not shown on the iPad last week, or January 27th, at the keynote. There's no sign of Flash coming to any of these devices in the future. Steve Jobs calls Adobe lazy and gives all kinds of reasons about why Flash is a dead-end solution. Right now, we all suffer because we have no ability to watch Flash videos or play Flash games on the iPhone and the forthcoming iPad. Where does this come from? It could be that when Final Cut was released, it kind of pushed out a lot of Adobe software. Adobe responded in kind with optimizing their software for Windows users. Now we've got HTML5, so it looks like Flash is actually at a dead end. Flash won't improve. Apple won't work around Flash. We'll never have them together again. Hopefully 5 takes its place. Otherwise, we're the ones as users that end up out in the cold. So we'll have to see where this goes. But Apple is now battling Adobe on the Flash forefront. It's now battling Google on the Maps and the mobile side, and it's battling Microsoft on the desktop and laptop side. So what do we have here is Apple seems to be taking on the world, much like the United States, only in this case Apple seems to be winning, and everybody supports them. But I guess we'll see where that's going to go here, but stay tuned for more on what happens between these two giants. And the Microsoft-Apple pairing may help in the fight against Google. We'll see. Nobody else has a pad or a tablet out behind Apple right now. Nobody else has a phone that can keep up with the iPhone right now. Although we'll see. Apple may be spreading themselves just a little bit too thin before it comes down to they just can't wage war against any other companies. Or these other companies all gang up against Apple. I don't know. All I know is right now is that the lack of Flash on my iPhone is a blessing. I've got no pop-ups. I've got no intros to wait through. I'd have no useless animations and silliness. I certainly do not miss the Flash cartoons on my phone either. So it's actually a welcome addition from a lack of feature standpoint for me, but it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Next. New pictures of the iPad surfaced a couple of days ago on Mahalo, Jason Calacanis' website. It had about 15 cameras around the outside and about 285 cameras on the back. It boasted the new iPad with over 300 cameras. Jason Calacanis said, "See, I told you so," just like in his comments before the release of the iPad. Nobody got up in arms this time about it, though. I wonder why. Could it be because they trusted every ridiculous word that he said and lost their jobs over it? Now they're just not listening to him? That's bullshit. They are listening to him. They're just afraid to report the truth. Now, lucky for them, this is not the truth and they're not missing out on a big story. Sense in journalism? Can that be? Can one man like Jason Calacanis actually introduce it back into the media industry? I don't know. All I know is I'm glad that I'm not reading this about the front page of the Wall Street Journal today. There is no iPad with over 300 cameras on it. There never will be. Thank you, Jason, for making an obvious joke and somebody for actually paying attention and realizing it is, in fact, a joke. Unbelievable. How stupid do you have to be to report this stuff as if it was first-hand knowledge without checking your sources the first time? It's a shame, Jason, that your jokes had to go to that length before people started laughing at them. I thought the first one was funny. I think the second one is funnier. iPhone users, you should have received an update this week to OS 3.1.3. Jailbroken iPhone users, have you not received that yet? Don't do it. You cannot jailbreak. Red Snow doesn't work. Ultra Snow doesn't work. Black Rain doesn't work. Nothing works. Nothing's going to work with this one. The dev team looked at this. They said that new features in this new version will actually preclude the ability to jailbreak. They don't see being able to jailbreak in the near future or at all with 3.1.3 and really any version going forward. An overhaul like version 4 may change the landscape of this. In the meantime, if you were jailbroken, stay where you are. What features is 3.1.3 upgrade to? I don't know. I haven't seen any difference. I've looked into it. I've read the changelog. Nothing seems to be different. All you lose is the ability to jailbreak. Could this be why Apple released this? Maybe. Is 4 on the way very quickly? Would seem so with the iPad and with the iPhone 4 hardware 4 coming up around the corner just this summer. In theory, we'll see at WWDC in June, but expect one in July anyway. However, these updates seem meaningless. I don't know. What I did notice, my phone's slower. I wasted 3 hours upgrading. Other than that, no features to speak of. So, if you're not jailbroken, go for it. If you are, you might want to skip this one. Have you heard? Facebook got a new layout this week, just a couple days ago. Of course you heard. Everybody's heard. What have we heard? It sucks. I hate it. I want to go back. I don't like it. Take it away from me. Everybody's complaining about this layout, just like every single one before that. Facebook should win an award for most amount of layout changes in a year. It's not going to stop. You know why? Because you complain about the current layout, so they fix it. Then you complain about the new layout, and you want to go back. And then a week later, you forgot what the old layout looks like. Quit complaining. It's going to happen. My layout changed. Are you guys going to hate me too? Are you going to complain about the weekly wrap-up? Then I'll change it again because you don't like it, and you'll say, go back. Quit being fickle. This is the way it goes. Technology evolves. Otherwise, get out your Commodore 64 and use that. You can change the colors and the border of that. There's a new layout for you. Doesn't do anything else, though. Grow up, everybody. This is what's going to happen. All right? New Facebook. If you haven't all gotten it, just be patient. It'll come your way. Then you can complain, too. And nobody else will be listening because they forgot what the old one looked like by then. See? Just get over it, guys. This is what happens. We'll see you next week.